Well, let me take them together, because what has happened is that we have a historic moment where the World Bank came out with their report, IMF came out with their report, NESG did their something, and then MBS put out their inflation and GDP figures, all of them at the same time. They raised two critical issues: the quality of the GDP growth rates, the quality of the inflation figures. These are two major issues that they raise. Let's come from GDP growth. Now, if you break it down, there are big questions about the inclusivity of the growth. You see, you are getting 4.2%, but that growth is not inclusive. Why? Because it is not leading to employment, is not leading to poverty reduction. It is not even spreading out to cater for the 42 million MSMEs or account for their access to growth and front and all. It excludes them. Number two, that growth is not sustainable. It is still not sustainable for some of the reasons I have mentioned and a bit more that I'm going to mention. Three, there is something about the quality of it, because it's not delivering the things you expect it to deliver. Then you come to, I'm going to the details, you come to the inflation. Inflation, what we have is not a straightforward inflation, and I've said it many times. What we have is stagflation. And stagflation is the most complicated form of inflation, where all the possible types of inflation are active simultaneously. Rarely do you have it in other economies. It's only two at a time or one at a time. Our own, four are happening simultaneously. So you may tinker with one or two, you get a drop, but the other two are also haunting you. Let me explain. You know we have massive cash in the system because you have 32 trillion ways and means, which is the middle name of that is inflation printed. And so you are left with, and there's a huge capital inflow to the private sector. So all of this liquidity is what monetary policies are sucking away from the system with all the inflation targeting that they are doing. But you have another one, which is called, so this, what I describe here is called demand pool inflation, because this high, heavy money, a large amount of money is chasing fewer goods and services. And you didn't produce this money on account of productivity gain. No, you can print money, but you print money under some conditions. One, that somebody has sent in $20 billion into your economy, so you've got to print naira to enable them to do the work in the country. Or there is massive productivity gain in the country. You're producing more, so you need to raise the cash available to be able to purchase the excess. None of this is the case. You're just printing inflation. Now, the second one is what you call cost push inflation, structural. And that is so active because you have high rising cost of transportation, energy. Look at band A is 220 naira. I can't process my cassava and certain staples with that kind of cost. Then you have all this other electricity costs and all of that. All that input costs, especially transportation when it comes to food, is big time here. Of course, you have insecurity that also takes a big toll on all other factors of production. Now you have the third one, which is imported inflation. And this is beginning to open our corridor to where the answers of all the contradictions are going to be. You have an import-dependent economy. When you have import-dependent economy, anything that happens globally will affect you. It doesn't matter whether it is COVID-19, supply chain disruption, American subprime property crisis, Russia crisis. What has Russia crisis got to do with Nigeria? We have gas and oil. They have gas and oil. Why? Because Russia controls 40% of gas to Europe. So when they started turning down that tap, prices went high. We are the second trading partner to Europe. So all we're importing from there are importing inflation. Then the fourth one, people don't talk about this. You are feeding 300 million people, not 230 million, because you are surrounded by Francophone countries. And what has happened with that relationship is that they actually depend on you for their food. Look at the Niger, Chad, Mali, Burkina Faso. They depend on you because you have the fertile land, you have to produce the food, and they're buying the food without paying in dollar. In naira is what they even use to settle, not even franc CFA. Why is it material? Let me tell you why it's material. I'm from ECOWAS Commission over the last 15 years. When we go out to these countries, 1 naira buys 3 sefa. But now 1 naira cannot buy 1 sefa, it buys 0.7 sefa. So this apple that I buy in any market here, Otako, for 800 naira, when I go to Seme Border, you can check. It's 3,000 naira that I pay for this apple. So it reflects the devaluation in our money, almost 80%. So these people are buying our food. They don't need to go to China anymore. Anything you get from Nigeria, you can make 200% profit just across the border. So that is the issue. Now, so it's all about import dependence, 1. Then 2, you have a differential currency regime that has rendered your food supply incapable of meeting. The food system cannot meet the demand. So you keep having food inflation, food inflation. Now, food inflation has tempered down. Why? Because imported. You did rapid importation to stem down the price. Of course, we're also doing something about cassava, gari, and all the other people are doing something.
All right.